What's up, YouTube? I'm Ali the Gritter, bringing you the first episode of Free Game Friday. In today's episode, I'll be showing you how to create vocal templates for Pro Tools. Templates are key for artists, especially in hip-hop. Some artists use Auto-Tune and various other plugins to enhance vocal performance. Also, templates help you save time because you don't have to go into every session and set up individual tracks, bus tracks, and plugins to each individual track. Once an artist finds a template that best fits their vocal needs, they can take it with them to any studio in the world to ensure vocal consistency regardless what studio they choose to record at. First thing we're going to do is create a session, and I'm going to name this How to Create a Template for Recording Audio. Now, depending on what version of Pro Tools you have, it really shouldn't matter, but these parameters should all be the same. The file type should be WAV, the sample rate should be 44.1, the bit depth should be 16, and typically the I/O settings should be last used. Okay, the first thing we want to do is create our tracks. So we go to Track New, and for me, I do the beat track first, also known as the instrumental track. So you go to Create One Stereo Track Audio, and you see it there. And the next thing I like to do is create my auxiliary tracks. So again, we're gonna go to Track New, and we're gonna create 2 stereo tracks. And instead of audio tracks, we're gonna make these auxiliaries. What I like to use auxiliary tracks for is to give the vocals a little more power and effects. I also have a second auxiliary track, and that's gonna be my mix. So all of my tracks, beat track, vocal tracks, and most auxiliary tracks are all gonna go to the mix. After creating my auxiliary tracks, I wanna name these tracks just to have my sessions a little bit more organized. Now, this is all due to preference. You can set it up and name whatever you want to do or however you want to do it. It's all about finding the way that fits you or the artist that you're recording. But this is how I set mine up. After getting our beat track and auxiliary set up, next thing we want to do is create tracks for our individual vocal tracks. And before we duplicate these, this step is very important. You want to name the track so you don't have to type it in each individual time, and you also want to set up your inserts or your plugins the way you want so you don't have to do those each individual time as well. So what we'll do is we'll go in here, we'll name the vocal, we'll put our plugins that the artist likes to use on his individual track, his or her individual track, and then we're going to duplicate that so we're not doing redundant work. It's going to give us a lot more time to focus on other things, and it's just easy. It's just an easy setup. After you get your plugins in order that best fits the artist you're recording, then we're going to go in here and duplicate that to cut down our workload time. And then after that, we're going to put the send to the right vocal auxiliary so that all the vocal tracks will go to the vocal auxiliary. And this, again, is just going to keep your session organized, clean, and everything going to one place. What I like to do is minimize the 12 or 16 or however many vocal tracks you're going to make, and enlarge the more important tracks like the beat track so I can see where the level's hitting, and the vocal auxiliary so I can see where the vocals are hitting compared to the beat. And after that, I like to create a master track just to see overall where the overall mix is going to hit compared to the mix track. It's always going to be a little different on that master because the master's catching everything. Some of our final steps, what we want to do is save the template. So we're going to go to File, Save As Template, and here you're going to name your template. So we're going to do this Ali the Gritter template. You want to name it after whatever artist you're recording, or whatever you want to name it, pretty much. Hit OK. Then we're going to close this session down, and I'm going to show you how to find it so that you don't have to do this every time you create a session. It saves you so much time, man. Templates come in clutch, okay? The artist is ready to go. He ain't got time to just sit and wait. What's taking so long, you know, they get an idea, they want to record right then and there. And this is gonna help speed up that process on the engineering side. So we're gonna open back up Pro Tools. We're gonna go to template. When we create the session, remember it was in record mix. We're gonna go to Ailey the Gritter. And what you wanna do is find that template, and then you wanna name that session, you know, the new session to whatever it is that you wanna name it. So that's pretty much it, man. Super simple, super easy. First episode of Free Game Friday. Make sure you tap in. We're gonna touch a lot of different subjects on the video side, on the finance side, and a whole lot of other topics. So like I said, like, subscribe, tap in.